Someone close to you is dying but hiding it from you, and the name of this sick person is not a stranger. It is someone very close to your life, someone who still smiles at you even when they are breaking inside. My beloved child, if you are hearing this, it is because something in your heart already feels different. You may not have proof, but you have noticed changes. A silence where there used to be laughter. A tired voice. A distant energy. A presence that feels weaker day by day. They are hiding it from you. Not because they don't trust you, but because they don't want to become your pain. They don't want to see your eyes filled with worry. So they choose silence. They choose to suffer quietly. They say, "I'm fine," but they are not fine. They smile, but that smile is heavy. They stay strong for everyone, but no one is strong for them. And the truth is, you might already know who this is. It could be your friend, your parent, your sibling, or someone who used to talk to you every day but now slowly disappears. The sickness is not always visible. Sometimes it is physical. Sometimes it is emotional. Sometimes it is both. But the hardest part is not the illness, it is the hiding. They are fighting alone at night. They are overthinking everything in silence. They are praying for strength just to get through another day. And you never saw it clearly. Because they were protecting you from it. But now this message comes as a wake-up call. Because time does not wait for hidden pain. And silence can become dangerous when it lasts too long. If you feel someone is acting different, don't ignore it. Ask them. Sit with them. Be present. Even a simple, "I'm here for you," can break a silence they have been carrying for months. And if you are the one hiding your pain, hear this clearly, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to smile through suffering just to protect others. You are allowed to speak. You are allowed to be weak. You are allowed to be helped. Because the strongest people are not the ones who hide everything, they are the ones who finally open up. And the name of this sick person is not one name. It is every soul silently suffering behind a smile, waiting for someone to finally notice before it's too late. My beloved child. If you're still here, it means you're thinking about someone right now. Someone who used to be different, more alive, more present, but slowly started fading without explanation. They are still around you, but something feels off. Less energy. Less talking. More distance. More, "I'm busy," and "I'm fine." But they are not fine. They are hiding it. Not to lie, but to protect you from their pain. They smile in front of you, but inside they are exhausted. They act normal, but their mind is heavy every single day. And the worst part, they don't know how to tell you. Because they think being silent is easier than becoming a burden. But silence is slowly breaking them. And maybe you already know who this is, a friend, a family member, someone you care about deeply. Listen carefully. Don't wait for them to collapse before you notice them. Don't wait for a confession. Sometimes a simple, "I feel something is wrong. Talk to me," can open a door they've kept closed for a long time. And if they don't speak right away, stay anyway. Presence matters more than pressure. Because some people don't need fixing, they need someone who finally sees them. And if you are the one hiding your pain right now, stop acting like you're okay just to protect others. You are allowed to speak. You are allowed to be weak. You are allowed to be helped. You were never meant to carry everything alone. And the truth is simple. Someone close to you might be silently breaking right now, and they are waiting for someone to finally notice. My beloved child, something deeper is happening now. Because once you start noticing the signs, you can't unsee them. You replay conversations in your mind. You remember their tired voice. You remember how they said, "I'm okay," a little too quickly, like they were trying to convince themselves to. And now you're wondering, how long has this been going on? The truth is, longer than you think. People don't suddenly break. They slowly disappear while still being physically present. They start withdrawing little by little. They stop sharing small things. They begin saying, "I'm fine," even when no one asked twice. And by the time anyone realizes, they've already been struggling alone for a long time. My beloved child, listen carefully. This is not just about sadness. This is about silent endurance. They wake up tired. They go through the day pretending. They come home and finally drop the mask when no one is watching. And still, they don't tell you. Because in their mind, speaking up means becoming a problem. And they don't want to be a problem in your life. But here's what they don't realize. Silence is heavier than truth. And now, you have a choice. You can keep treating them like they are okay, or you can start noticing what they never said out loud. A changed behavior is not random. A distant reply is not just being busy. A forced smile is not happiness. These are signals. And if you care about them, don't ignore small changes until they become big regrets. Because one day, they may stop pretending completely. And by then, you won't get the chance to ask again. And if you are the one hiding everything right now, hear this clearly. You don't have to reach your lowest point to deserve help. You don't have to break completely to be understood. Even your quiet suffering matters. Even your silent pain is real. And someone, somewhere, would rather know the truth than lose you to silence. So speak, before silence speaks for you. My beloved child, now the message becomes even heavier. Because there comes a point where silence is no longer just silence, it becomes a language of its own. And if you are still thinking about someone right now, it means your heart has already started connecting the pieces that your eyes missed before. You begin to understand that it was never just one moment. It was many small moments you didn't pay attention to. The delayed replies. The tired tone. The sudden distance. The "I'm just busy" that didn't feel complete. At first, you ignored it, because life gets busy for everyone. But deep inside, something kept whispering, something is not right. And my beloved child, that inner feeling was not wrong. Because when someone is silently struggling, they don't announce it in big ways. They leak it in small ways. In the way they pause before speaking. In the way they stop sharing their day. In the way they start asking about others, but never about themselves. And here is what makes it even more painful. The ones who are suffering the most are often the ones trying the hardest to look normal. They don't want attention. They don't want pity. They don't want to be seen as weak. So they build a mask. A strong voice. A controlled smile. A "don't worry about me" attitude. But behind that mask, there is exhaustion that words cannot describe. And day by day, that exhaustion grows. Not loudly. Not suddenly. But quietly, like a shadow spreading across something that used to be bright. My beloved child, listen closely. There are people in your life who are not telling you the truth about how heavy their days feel. Not because you don't matter, but because you matter too much to them. They are afraid of becoming your burden. They are afraid of changing how you see them. They are afraid that if they open up, they won't be able to close that door again. So they stay silent. But silence has a cost. And that cost is carried alone. Now I want you to understand something very clearly. Not every smile means happiness. Not every "I'm okay" means peace. Not every presence means they are truly here. Sometimes people are already halfway gone emotionally, while still standing right in front of you. And that is why awareness matters. Because love is not just about being close. It is about noticing when someone starts to disappear emotionally. And if you are thinking about someone right now, don't dismiss it. Reach out again. Not casually, but with intention. Say something simple but real. I don't know why, but I feel like you're carrying something alone. I'm here if you want to talk. And then, don't rush their response. Because people who have been silent for a long time don't open up quickly. They test safety first. They check if you really mean it. And if they stay quiet, don't walk away. Sometimes your presence speaks louder than their words. Just staying is support. But my beloved child, there is another truth hidden inside this message. This is not only about them. It is also about you. Because sometimes, the person who reads messages like this is also the one silently struggling. Smiling in front of others. Acting normal. Saying, "I'm fine," when no one asks twice. But inside, carrying things that feel too heavy to explain. And if that is you, hear this without fear. You are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are not broken for being tired. You are not alone just because you stayed silent. You don't need to reach a breaking point to be allowed to speak. You don't need permission to be honest about your pain. Because the truth is simple. You matter even when you are not okay. And the version of you that is struggling right now still deserves care, still deserves understanding, still deserves support. My beloved child. If someone in your life is slowly fading emotionally, don't wait for a final moment to realize their struggle. And if that someone is you, don't wait for everything to collapse before you choose to open up. Because silence may feel safe for a while. But connection is what keeps people alive inside. And this is your reminder. Before it becomes too late. Before distance becomes permanent. Before regret replaces awareness. Choose to notice. Choose to reach. Choose to stay. My beloved child, now the truth goes even deeper. Because when someone has been hiding their pain for too long, they don't just become quiet, they start becoming invisible in plain sight. They are still there, but you stop truly seeing them. They sit next to you, but their mind is far away. They respond to messages, but their heart is not in the words anymore. They laugh at the right moments, but it feels delayed, like they are remembering how to act normal instead of actually feeling it. And the most dangerous part is this. They become too good at hiding it. So good that even the people closest to them start believing the illusion. My friend is fine. My family is okay. They are just tired. It's nothing serious. But behind those assumptions, a silent struggle continues every single day. My beloved child, listen carefully. People don't always break in dramatic ways. Most people don't fall apart in front of others. They break in private. In their room. In the bathroom. Late at night when everyone else is asleep. That is where the truth comes out, when there is no audience left to impress. And in those moments, they don't ask for much. Not solutions. Not advice. Just relief. Just a feeling that someone would understand if they spoke. But instead, they stay silent. Because they have learned something painful over time. That being strong often means being silent. But that is not strength, that is survival. And survival alone becomes heavy after a while. Now my beloved child. I want you to understand something very important. If you feel someone is changing, don't wait for confirmation. Because by the time everything becomes obvious, it is often already very deep. A person who used to talk freely, becoming quiet. A person who used to share everything, now sharing nothing. A person who used to ask for help, now saying, "It's fine," all the time. These are not small changes. These are emotional warnings. And if you care about them, you don't need a perfect moment to check on them. You just need honesty. I've noticed you've been different lately. I'm here for you. That's it. No pressure. No interrogation. Just presence. Because sometimes, one safe conversation can interrupt months of silent suffering. But my beloved child, there is something else you must not ignore. Not everyone will open up immediately. Some people will deny it. Some will change the topic. Some will smile and say, "Don't worry." And that's okay. Because healing doesn't start with perfect words, it starts with repeated safety. One conversation is not enough. One message is not enough. One check-in is not enough. Consistency is what slowly rebuilds trust. And if you are the one hiding your pain right now, hear this clearly. You don't have to keep proving you are okay. You don't have to earn the right to be honest. You don't have to wait until everything gets worse to speak. Because pretending to be fine every day is also a kind of exhaustion. And you deserve rest from that too. My beloved child. If someone in your life is slowly disappearing emotionally, don't normalize it. And if that someone is you, don't ignore yourself while waiting for someone else to notice. Because the truth is simple. Silence doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes it means someone is quietly struggling, hoping not to be forgotten. And this is your reminder. Notice them. Reach for them. Stay with them. Before silence becomes the final answer. My beloved child, now the message becomes more personal than ever. Because at this stage, it is no longer just about someone out there. It starts to feel close. Too close. Like a name keeps coming into your mind. Like a face keeps repeating in your thoughts. Like your heart already knows who this is, even if your mind is still trying to deny it. And that inner conflict, that confusion, is exactly what silent suffering creates. Because when someone is hiding their pain well, you begin to doubt your own instincts. You're overthinking. They're just busy. Nothing is wrong. But deep inside, you still feel it, something has changed. And my beloved child, you were not imagining it. People who are struggling emotionally don't always show clear signs. Instead, they change patterns. They stop starting conversations. They stop sharing small details. They stop reacting the same way they used to. And slowly, they start becoming a version of themselves that feels distant, even when they are physically present. That is the hardest part. They are still here, but not fully here. And you feel it in silence. My beloved child, listen carefully. One of the most painful truths in life is this. Some people are surrounded by love, but still feel alone inside. Because no one notices the emotional distance growing inside them. No one asks twice. No one looks deeper. No one realizes that "I'm okay" has become automatic, not honest. And over time, they stop trying to explain. Because they believe no one will truly understand anyway. So they adapt. They function. They survive. They pretend. But inside, something quietly weakens day by day. And if this message is reaching you now, it is because awareness is trying to break through that silence. My beloved child, don't ignore emotional changes just because life looks normal on the surface. Normal appearances can hide heavy realities. A person can go to work, and still be breaking inside. A person can laugh in a group, and still feel empty alone. A person can post pictures, and still feel completely disconnected from life. You cannot judge pain by visibility. Now listen closely. If someone you know has been withdrawing, don't wait for them to come back to how they were. Because sometimes, they are not busy or distracted. Sometimes, they are overwhelmed. And overwhelmed people don't always ask for help. They wait, hoping someone notices without them having to say it. But waiting is dangerous. So reach out. Not once. Not casually. But gently, repeatedly, sincerely. I noticed you've been a bit distant. I just want you to know I'm here for you, no pressure. And then, let them breathe. Let them choose the pace. Because pressure pushes silence deeper, but patience opens it slowly. And my beloved child, this is also your reminder for yourself. If you are the one reading this while quietly struggling, You don't have to keep performing okay for everyone. You don't have to protect others by destroying yourself silently. You are not responsible for hiding your pain just to keep others comfortable. You are allowed to say, "I'm not okay today." Even if your voice shakes. Even if it feels unfamiliar. Even if it scares you a little. Because truth shared is lighter than silence carried alone. And the people who truly care about you would rather hear your honesty than lose you to your silence. My beloved child. At the end of all this, the message becomes very simple. Don't wait for obvious signs. Don't wait for breakdowns. Don't wait for regrets. Because sometimes the people closest to you are not asking for attention. They are asking, quietly, for someone to notice before they disappear emotionally. And this is your reminder. See them. Hear them. Stay with them. Before silence becomes something you can no longer undo. My beloved child, this is the last message. And now everything slows down. Because when truth is finally seen clearly, it no longer feels like fear. It feels like understanding. You now realize something important. Not every distance is rejection. Not every silence is coldness. Not every change means someone stopped caring. Sometimes, it means they are tired. Tired of carrying what they never spoke about. Tired of pretending every day is okay. Tired of smiling when their inside feels heavy. And still, they stayed in your life. That is what you must not forget. Even in silence, they didn't leave you. Even in pain, they didn't stop showing up. Even while breaking, they still cared about you. My beloved child, this is where love becomes real. Not in perfect moments, but in noticing imperfect ones. Now if there is someone on your mind, don't wait anymore. Not tomorrow. Not later. Not when you are free. Just reach out. A simple message. A simple call. A simple presence. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here. You don't have to face it alone. No pressure. No judgment. No fixing. Just being there. Because sometimes that is enough to keep someone from feeling invisible. And if they respond, listen fully. Not to reply, but to understand. And if they don't respond right away, don't assume the worst. Some silences are not endings, they are pauses. My beloved child, now listen carefully to the ending. If you were worried about someone, this is your reminder to act with love, not fear. And if you were quietly thinking about yourself this whole time, then this is also your moment. You don't have to hide your pain to be accepted. You don't have to smile to be loved. You don't have to disappear emotionally to survive life. You are still here. And that alone matters more than you realize. Because even in your weakest moment, you are still worthy of care. Even in your silence, you are still deserving of support. Even in your confusion, you are still not alone. And life is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to stay connected. To yourself. To others. To hope. So before this message ends, take one thing with you. Notice the people you love. Speak before it's too late. Stay before distance grows too far. And if you needed this message for yourself, then let this be your sign to breathe a little easier now. Because you are not meant to carry everything alone. And you never were. This is not an ending of pain. This is the beginning of awareness, connection, and care. Stay. Reach. Love. And don't let silence win where love still exists.